And so the thing is, as they collapse us into a third world country, you know, the rich elites will make billions and billions of dollars of profit off mass immigration by lowering our wages. Our wages will go lower and lower. The rents will go higher and higher. That means the billionaire elites will make more and more profit. Their profits go through the roof. And then we as Americans, we get poorer and poorer, paying the higher taxes for the welfare state. We get poorer and poorer with their lower wages. We get poorer and poorer as the rents go higher and higher. And then at the same time, we're going to have to pay like $500 water bills because of all these pipelines that are going to have to be built to bring in water for all the new people. You know, it's just totally not fair. Think about all the schools that will have to be built. Think about all the infrastructure that will be built. Think about all the tax increases that we're going to have to pay to bring in all these people. And the sad thing is, most of these immigrants they're bringing in are incredibly poor. So they're never going to pay enough tax to pay for all of the stuff that's going to be necessary. But again, the rich elites, they don't care because they make more profit off collapsing our wages, turning America into a third world country. And then they use the socialist, leftist management system to do this. And they're going to turn the country socialist, and they're going to use these poor immigrants as socialist voting blocks. That's basically their plan, to use the poor immigrants as socialist voting blocks. And the truth is, I feel very sorry, you know, for the poor immigrants, because if they go into a state like California, are they ever going to buy a house where the average house is like $600,000 in the state of California? In the city of LA, San Francisco, San Jose, it's like over $1 million for a small little entry-level house. Are these immigrants going into California, are they ever going to be able to buy one of those $1 million houses? Are they ever going to be able to do that? I mean, even if the immigrant gets really successful and let's say they become a doctor and they make like $250,000 a year as a doctor, it's unlikely they'll be able to afford one of those $1 million, $2 million entry-level houses in the California coastal cities where the liberal, leftist, socialist elites are in total control. It's very unlikely they'll ever be able to afford one of those houses. So then what's going to happen? What's going to happen is like 80% of these people, because they're renters, they're going to want rent control. They're going to want rent control, and they're going to want all these socialist programs to benefit themselves. And what does that mean? That means like 80% of these people are going to vote for leftist socialists. And that's the plan. That's the plan. They're going to use the California model on more and more states. That's what they're going to do. It's the California model. You put tech jobs and bureaucrat government jobs in the center of the city. You make the house prices millions of dollars with zone restrictions, massive out of control immigration. That's what they did in California. And then what you do is you create a socialist leftist management system where the politicians will support rent control and they'll support all these socialist programs that they say are helping the poor. The poor vote for it. And then the poor people get poorer and poorer and poorer, and they never can buy a house. They can never build middle class equity, and they just stay a renter. They just stay a renter slave forever, working 50, 60, 70 hours a week as a renter, paying all their money in rent for their entire life because they can never buy a house because houses are $1 million because of zone restrictions and massive out of control immigration.